Shishidhari, Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Srila Guru Dev ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishimar Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishimar Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa no Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath. Shara Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradakta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Jai. We're going to be reading his offering to Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupada. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam to Rukmini Didi. And Hari Priya Didi, Vidya Lalasa Didi. And everybody else. Hare Krishna. All right, so I actually didn't set anything up yet. Just give me a second here. I was trying to get a bunch of things done off my to-do list before I started. Okay. Great. So today we're going to be reading offerings by, first I'm going to read something from my Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Goswami Maharaj, and then afterwards we will read the homage, or the glorification of by Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj, that from the upcoming book, Lotus-Eyed Lion, written and translated by Srimati Devamai Didi. So I'm just one second. Just checking. Okay. Just sharing my screen now. Where is the share? All right. On just one, we're going to be reading this article first is published in Rays of the Harmonist. What is it? Kartik 2006. This article, I might not read all of it. Yeah, because this is a lot about the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Goswami Maharaj. And so I'm just going to read up to this point here. Okay. Remembering Srila Prabhupada in separation on his appearance day by Shri Srimad Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Goswami Maharaj. Praying for mercy on the occasion of Vyas Puja. Tate Krishna bhaje kore gurur sevan. Maya jala chute pai Krishner charan. Only by simultaneously performing Guru Seva and Krishna Bhajan does a bound jiva become liberated from the web of Maya and attain the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 22:25. One second, I'm just opening up the chat in case there are ever any comments. Okay. So yes, these words of Chaitanya Charitamrita are echoed in the following statement. By performing Sri Vyasa Puja, one simultaneously serves Guru and Krishna. And that point was from the Vyasa Puja offering of a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, published in the Weekly Gaudiya, Year 4, Issue 26, page 590. Okay. Hence, the regulation to perform Vyasa Puja on the appearance day of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, who is most worshipable, is established according to the teachings of the Gaudiya Acharyas. On this occasion of Vyasa Puja, I have been ordered to serve this spiritual magazine, which is like one of Srila Gurudev's bodily limbs. I fully realize my complete incapacity to do so, and am therefore calculating my misfortune. Those who are Guru Das, honorable servants of Sri Guru, are my sole well-wishers, able to deliver me from this calamity. To remain under their guidance is the pinnacle of service to Sri Guru. I therefore offer my sincere prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet of all of the servitors of Srila Gurudev. Regarding them to be my fellow godbrothers and dealing with them in a mood of sakhya or friendship, I have differed with them, but now, after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, I realize in the core of my heart just what I have done and am thus condemning my life. O servitors of Sri Guru, it is you who are the true worshippers of Vyasa Puja. Please bestow your merciful glance upon me. Please do not neglect me upon seeing my worthlessness, but kindly engage me in dasya, or servitude, through glorification of Sri Guru and Gauranga. This is my heartfelt prayer at your lotus feet. The Sarup, or embodiment of Srila Gurudev. Following in the footsteps of Sri Vyas and Vyasaki, Sri Shukadev, the servitors of Sri Guru have informed me about Sri Gurudev through scriptural statements such as the following. Gaurajan Sangha Koro, Gauranga Bolia. Associate with the followers of Gaur, knowing them to be none different from Gauranga. Acharya Mam Vijaniyat. Know the Acharya to be my own self. And Shakshadharitvena Samasta Shastara. All scriptures concur that Sri Guru is Hari himself. At the same time, however, the servitors of Sri Guru have instructed me to consider him as the dearest associate of Hari, Kintu Prabhurya Priya Evatasya. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 145, Srila Kaviraj Gosvāmī has also elucidated the position of Guru by saying, Guru Krishna Rupahan Shastrer Pramane. All Shastras corroborate that Sri Guru is non-different from Krishna. He continues, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Koren Bhaktagane. In the form of Guru, Sri Krishna bestows mercy upon his devotees. Accordingly, the statements of the Mahājans and the examples provided in the scriptures establish clearly that Sri Guru is the Sarup, or embodiment of Bhagavan. In the same way, I acknowledge the servitors of Sri Guru as non-different from Bhagavan also, and consider them my Shiksha Gurus. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 147. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has said, Shiksha Guru Keta Jani Krishner Sarup. One should know the Shiksha Guru to be the Sarup, or embodiment of Sri Krishna. O eternal servitors of Sri Guru, the sole reason you have appeared in this material world is to deliver those like me, the lowest of mankind, who have fallen in the mire of sin. Although I have heard your transcendental teachings about the supramundane nature of Sri Gurudev, my conception of him as a mortal being has not dimmed even slightly. Delusion and malice is the root cause of this. Just see how my Param Gurudev is praying to his god brothers. What kind of honor. Vani Kirtan. Haribol Kishore Prabhu and Raseshwari Mataji. Vani Kirtan, Srila Prabhupada's innermost desire. Oh, and Haribol Krishna Mai Didi. I didn't see. Vani, or sound, is received through one sensory organ only, the ears. In other words, the other four senses are impotent to receive it. It is impossible to approach an object that lies beyond the senses through the medium of the senses. Indeed, we attain auspiciousness to the extent we are able to limit the involvement of the senses. This is precisely why Shravan, hearing, and Kirtan, chanting, are considered superior to the other limbs of bhakti. Isn't that such an amazing point? I'm just going to reread this section. Vani, or sound, is received through one sensory organ only, the ears. In other words, the other four senses are impotent to receive it. It is impossible to approach an object that lies beyond the senses through the medium of the senses. Indeed, we attain auspiciousness to the extent that we are able to limit the involvement of the senses. This is precisely why Shravan, hearing, and Kirtan are considered superior to the other limbs of bhakti. We were just reading yesterday about sound, spiritual, transcendental sound coming from the lips of a pure devotee. If my mentality of considering Sri Guru to be a mere mortal has not vanished after hearing the kirtan of transcendental instructions from your lotus mouths, then my performance of the limbs of bhakti executed through the other senses is futile also. What doubt can there be about this? In the present age, every limb of bhakti needs to be performed in conjunction with kirtan. Although limbs of bhakti other than Shravan and Kirtan exist, they do not bestow the highest result without Kirtan. Therefore, by the boundless mercy of you all, I have been able to understand that Kirtan is independent and the topmost sadhan. Only bhakti characterized by Shravan and Kirtan constitutes preaching and is Bhagavat Mata, the Manobhrishta of Sri Chaitanya. Whereas bhakti that involves the construction of mats and temples, service to the deities, archan, and so on, is Pancharatrik Mata, the system of formal deity worship. You have allowed me to understand that the sole ontological reason for Srila Prabhupada's appearance was to preach the conceptions of the Bhagavat Parampara. Kirtan is the sole fruit of Kirtan. Kirtan alone is seva, and Kirtan is also prem. Srila Jiva Goswami has written in his Krama Sandarbha, Yadyapyanya bhakti kalo kartavya tada kirtanakya bhakti samyogenaiva ityuktam. In Kali Yuga, the limbs of bhakti other than kirtan are also to be performed, but only in conjunction with kirtan. Yes. Srila Prabhupada has himself said, let there be representatives of the Pancharatric process. Let the temples be constructed and the deities worshipped. But those belonging to the better class, the higher class, engage in preaching activities. To propagate Vaikuntha Nam everywhere is the most cherished desire of Mahaprabhu. Our preaching process should be like this. Let pamphlets be printed profusely. It does not matter whether or not the mats and temples are erected. Haribo Shubhananda Prabhu. Even in his final instructions, Srila Prabhupada specifically cautioned us. We have not come to this world as masons to deal with stone or wood. We are the peons of Sri Chaitanya Dev's message. Let people practice any one or several of the limbs of bhakti independently of kirtan. We shall practice only kirtanakya bhakti, that's bhakti characterized by kirtan, as instructed by Srila Prabhupada. This quote is this is one of my favorite quotes. One must present one's ears to hear the Vani. Because I maintained the conception that Srila Prabhupada was an ordinary human being, none of his words ever entered my ears. Therefore, he would often say, first prepare your ears, develop transcendental Shraddha. By doing so, you will attain the qualification to hear the Siddhanta of the Bhagavat. Now I realize in the core of my heart the essence of this instruction. Although I remained by Srila Prabhupada for about 18 years, till 1937, his teachings on what is ultimately beneficial and what is temporarily pleasing, Shreya and Preya, on following and mere imitation, Anusaran and Anukaran, on what is real and what is fake, Ashal and Nakal, on ontology and morphology, on on spirituality, and this shouldn't be proper conduct. And I guess the same mundanity. I'm not sure if that's the best the best word for this, but I'm just trying to think of the opposite. But on spirituality and vyavaharik can be like referring to the material world, like to our conventional material, whatever. No, I'm sorry, that's not the right word, but yeah. On spirituality and mundanity, what's this word? Quotidian. I don't know that word. Quotidian. What's that word?
The quotidian, the everyday. Maybe the everyday is better.
Okay. Because like in Jaiva Dharma, lots of times it says it uses paramartik and vyavaharik, referring to paramartik, like what's like Vaishnavas don't follow the vyavaharik rules of this world, but they're above that and they follow paramartik. So it's like that's
Conventional, maybe?
conventional. Yeah, that's it. Okay. On spirituality and conventional, whatever. And on associating with a
Just
transcendental.
convention.
Okay, convention. Okay, yeah. On spirituality and convention, and on associating with a transcendental personality's form and teachings, as embodied by the Gaudiya magazine. So he's saying, although I remained with Srila Prabhupada for about 18 years, his teachings on these different opposing things, Shreya, Preya, Anusaran, Anukaran, Asad, Nakal, Paramartik, Vyavaharik, Vapu and Vani, as embodied by the Gaudiya magazine, did not enter my ears, nor could I realize the difference between these categories. Therefore, this is like the ultimate prayer right here. Therefore, I pray to the servitors of Sri Guru to help me first present my ears. Until I ready my ears for this purpose, I will be the subject of the statement, Upadesho himurkanam prakopaya nashantaye. Instructions given to fools serve only to anger them, not pacify them. Yes, we must pray to the servitors of Guru to help me first present my ears until I ready my ears for it. Yeah. And we're just reading here. First, prepare your ears. That means to develop transcendental Shraddha. By doing so, you will attain the qualification to hear the Siddhanta of the Bhagavat. Okay. Okay, actually, I'm going to skip. I'm going to end there because then it gets into the disappearance of there's also, I mean, there's so many different things for my Param Gurudev. I didn't really get around to preparing much though because I've just been busy. But this is the next article that we're going to be reading in our Rays of the Harmonists group. We'll be reading this on Akadashi. I remember though, I haven't read this in a long time, but I remember there's a really nice clarification here. Here, look, this is okay. So this is also my Param Gurudev, his article that he wrote on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but he also glorifies Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda here. Is this what I was looking for though? Hey, sorry. Wait, I'm trying to find. He talks about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's greatest, one of his greatest. Sorry, just give me a second. Paramahansa Kula Swami. Anyhow, maybe we'll move on to the Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj. Yeah. Okay, here it is. I found it. Oh no, this isn't it. Anyway, sorry. I'm keeping everybody waiting. Let's just we'll move on to the now we're going to read. This is from you're all getting an early yeah, this is a book that's going to be coming out. No, this is the older version. Let me see. There's a newer version. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. I didn't really prepare before we started very well. Just downloading this. So this is a book, Lotus-Eyed Lion, which will be coming out very soon. And yeah, I managed to get early access to it thanks to Rukmini Didi. This is, I'll just show everybody the contents for this. It's Lotus-Eyed Lion, the life and teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur. This was translated and also written. There's sections that were written by Srimati Devamai Didi, and also sections that were, and a lot of it translated. So, yeah, so this is like biography, this part, the divine life, Srila Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then letters from his grace, his divine grace, questions and answers from Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhānta Vani, excerpts from lectures and essays, Remembering the Lotus Feet, memoirs of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, a few glimpses of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So today we'll be reading this section. This is an offering by Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj. And then tomorrow we'll read from this section, Remembering the Lotus Feet, memoirs of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Haribol Raspe Didi. Okay. A few glimpses of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada by Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, translated from the Bengali by Devamai Dasi. Okay. Once Srila Prabhupada was viewing the deities of Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari at the Sri Chaitanya Mat, standing on the front porch of the temple. The door of that temple is not very wide, and Srila Prabhupada did not have his glasses on. Standing next to him was one of his dear disciples. The disciple thought perhaps Prabhupada could not view the deities very well through the narrow doorway. He suddenly said, "Prabhupada, this doorway is not very wide, so it is not possible to view the deities very well from outside." Hearing this, Prabhupada smiled, and he said, for the benefit of all of us, we should not think of the Supreme Lord as an object of our vision. Instead, we should meditate. We should meditate on the thought of how we can acquire some qualifications so that we can become worthy objects of his vision. We should think about whether he wants to see us and whether he will want to reveal himself to us. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved brahyam indriyai sevon mukhe hi jivadho swayam eva spuratyada. That's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Eastern Wave 2109. The holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Sri Krishna are divine and transcendental. They cannot be experienced by material senses. The Lord manifests himself spontaneously on the tongue of a devotee who is eager to serve him. That's the translation. Just as a devotee waits to see the Lord with great patience and eagerness, sometimes the Lord also waits with great patience and eagerness to see his devotee. It is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita how the hidden deity of Gopal and Vrindavan was waiting for his beloved devotee Sri Madhavendra Puri. Bahudin tomar pata kori nirikhan kobe asi Madhava ama koribe sevan. That's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 4:39. So Gopal is saying, "For many days I've been watching the road for you, and I have been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri, come here to serve me?" In this way, the Supreme Lord, who succumbs to his devotee's love, waits to see his devotee with great eagerness. Bhaktir Dravya Prabhu, Kari Kari Kai, Kari Kari Kai, Bhaktir Dravya Prabhu, Ulati Nachai. That's Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda 9:185. The Lord will grab food from his devotee, but he will not even glance at anything given by a non-devotee. This is why one must be eager to serve him with loving devotion. Bhaktir evayanam nayati, bhaktir evayanam darshayati, bhakti vasha purusha, bhaktir eva bhuyashi. That's from the Mathar Shruti quoted by Sri Madhvacharya's quoted in Sri Madhvacharya's commentary on Vedanta Sutra 3353. It is only devotion which takes us to him. It is only devotion which will reveal him to us. He can only be conquered by devotion. Therefore, in all scriptures, devotion is praised. When this devotion is mixed with spontaneous love, one quickly acquires the qualifications to be worthy of the Lord's vision. It is said in the Brahma Samhita, Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yang shama sundaram achintya guna swarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. That's from Brahma Samhita, verse 38. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Sham Sundar, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. Haribo Amit Dandekar. Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, those S's with the thing under. I think we just have to do a copy replace all though. So I'm not touching that because we'll just do it all at once, right? Another day, we were going from Sri Chaitanya Mat to Yogapit, following Srila Prabhupada. At one point along the way, that same beloved disciple smelled something bad on the road and covered his nose with the end of his dhoti. Seeing this, Srila Prabhupada smiled and said, "The transcendental fragrance of the holy dham is not reaching your nose. Instead, you are smelling the bad odor of the material world. The holy abode of the Lord is always transcendental, and one should not see it with material consciousness. The Lord's holy abode is non-different from the Lord himself. He has taught us, by his personal example, the high ideal of serving Sri Dham Mayapur, the birthplace of Lord Gauranga. At different places in Sri Dham Mayapur, at Sri Yogapit, Srivas Angan, etc., Srila Prabhupada had many transcendental realizations and experiences. With his supramundane vision, he always saw the three holy rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Sarasvatī, flowing together through Sri Dham Mayapur. He viewed the river Jalangi as non-different from the holy river Sarasvatī. Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda had the same kind of vision. In his famous poem, the 14th song of Bhajan Lalasa, Kabe Gauravane Sura Dhuni Tate, he begins by saying, "When will I give up material happiness and wander around the places of Lord Gauranga's pastimes?" In the second verse, he says, "I will drink the water of the river Sarasvatī." This Sri Dham Mayapur, the great place of pilgrimage, which is situated by the meeting place of the three holy rivers, was more dear to Srila Prabhupada than we can imagine. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has predicted that a wonderful temple would manifest at Sri Yogapit. Srila Prabhupada fulfilled this prediction by building a wonderful temple there, assisted by one of his wealthy disciples, Sripad Shaki Charan Bhakti Vijay Prabhu. Is it Shaki or Shaki? I guess I'm just going to. A four-handed deity of Vishnu manifested himself from the earth as the foundation of this temple was being dug on June 13th, 1934 at 10 a.m. Okay, wow. We know exactly when that figure was found, 10 a.m. Following the conclusions of the revealed scriptures, Srila Prabhupada called this deity Adhokshach, containing the potencies of Shri, Bhu, and Nila. Some famous archaeologists, headed by Sri Rama Prasad Chanda, determined the deity to be very ancient. Srila Prabhupada used to say that he was the household deity worshipped by Sri Jagannath Mishra. This very beautiful deity is still being worshipped at Sri Yogapit. Oh, Haribol Champak Mataji, sorry, I didn't see you before. To perform his service to Sri Dham Mayapur with great care and pomp, Srila Prabhupada brought many famous persons to Sri Dham Mayapur. One of them was the king of the independent state of Tripura, and another was the governor of Bengal, Sir John Anderson. Every year, Srila Prabhupada took great care to celebrate the birth anniversary of Sri Gauranga at Sri Dham Mayapur, and personally guided the 32-mile circumambulation of Sri Navadvip Dham. Srila Prabhupada considered Sri Chandrasekhar Bhavan, which was north of Yogapit, and Hularghat, or the meeting place of the three rivers, which was south of Yogapit, to be greater than Mayapur. Wow. From his lotus mouth came the prediction that one day there would be many Vaishnava villages and
to be greater Mayapur, meaning like
okay. I was thinking, I was like, wait, that is Mayapur. Sorry about that. Okay, so he's saying this to be greater Mayapur. Sorry, what were you saying? Sorry about that. I read that wrong. Um, okay. Yes, so from Chandrasekhar Bhavan to Hularghat, the meeting place of the three rivers, which is south of Yogapit, to be greater Mayapur. From his lotus mouth came the prediction that one day there would be many Vaishnava villages and neighborhoods on this strip of land. Many mats and temples would be established there, and tumultuous congregational chanting would be heard, accompanied by the sounds of conch shells, bells, cymbals, and mridangas. Srila Prabhupada used to say that Sri Gaurasundar, the golden moon of Sri Mayapur, is eternally performing his pastimes of congregational chanting with his eternal associates and his eternal abode, Sri Mayapur Dham. Even today, the Supreme Lord Gaur Hari is dancing and singing, wandering around Sri Mayapur with his beloved associates. Occasionally, some fortunate souls have heard a sudden sound of tumultuous Sankirtan at Srivas Angan or Yoga Pit, when apparently no one was there. Srila Prabhupada himself experienced this. We have seen with our own eyes some individuals who are not very spiritually inclined, whose hearts were hardened by their own faulty arguments and who are proud of their material education, become enchanted upon arrival at Sri Mayapur by the overwhelming spiritual ambience of the holy Dham. Their hearts could not resist the sweet attraction of the holy Dham, which stopped their argument and caused them to lower their haughty heads in humility. Next to the tall temple of Sri Yogapit is a big jackfruit tree. The ripe jackfruit of this tree is very sweet and juicy. We had the good fortune of tasting those ripe jackfruit. Our grand Gurudev, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, used to come and chant the holy name sitting under that jackfruit tree. In those days, Srila Prabhupada used to live at the Seva Khanda of Sri Yogapit, which does not exist anymore. I don't know if that jackfruit tree is still there either. I don't know. If it is, I'd be curious to see where it is. One day, Srila Prabhupada was surprised to see Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj sitting under that jackfruit tree very late at night. At that time, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji used to live on the Navadvip bank of the Ganga at Ranir Chada, under a chai, a portable bamboo and straw covering on a boat. Choi. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but yeah. And he practiced his bhajan there. Srila Prabhupada asked him how it was possible for him to cross the Ganga so late at night. In those days, the ferry service used to be closed at 10 o'clock at night. This was also the time when Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was performing his leela of having poor sight. The road to Mayapur was very arduous. So who had brought him there so late at night? When Srila Prabhupada asked this question, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji answered, someone my hand, etc. Srila Prabhupada had no difficulty understanding that this someone was not an ordinary someone. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj often used to come to Sri Mayapur and roll on the ground of Sri Yogapit and the courtyard of Srivas Thakur in loving ecstasy, and used to cry very earnestly, taking the names of Sri Gaur, Sri Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Sri Gadadhar, and the devotees headed by Sri Srivas. I'm so curious who that someone is. Is it like an associate of Mahaprabhu, or who? It's a mystery, but some divine personality, maybe Mahaprabhu himself. Okay. When Srila Prabhupada used to send him some fruit or vegetable grown in Sri Mayapur, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would take that with great adoration, touch it to his head and chest, and in due time would offer it to Sri Nityananda, and partake of the remnant. Srila Prabhupada's loving devotion for the lotus feet of his Gurudev is beyond our comprehension. At one time, he told us, "When I used to think that I was a big scholar of mathematics and philosophy, by my good fortune, I got the darshan of the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. He ignored everything that was previously appreciated in me, my truthfulness, my moral and pious life, and my scholarship, knowing them to be of little value. When he ignored whatever was good in me, I realized how good he himself was. And he could ignore so many good qualities in me, so many good qualities in me. What inconceivable wealth there was in him. Being ignored by him, I realized that there was no one more fallen than me, more contemptible than me, and that this was my real identity. This great soul did not consider the things which this great soul did not consider the things which I considered to be highly desirable, such as scholarship and pure moral character, to have any value. Then I realized that this great personality possessed priceless wealth within him. So I prayed humbly and sincerely to the Supreme Lord for his mercy. Later, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, I realized that without receiving the mercy of this great saint and serving him, nothing good could happen to me. When I realized that and acted accordingly, by getting the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev and by receiving his unlimited causeless mercy, I considered my life fulfilled. I have understood that if people do not receive the same jolt that I received from my Gurudev, then their consciousness would not awaken. Therefore, I am telling everyone, I am the stupidest person alive. Please, all of you, don't be stupid like me. Don't live your life within the limitation of a calculating consciousness. Please enter the realm of the unlimited Vaikuntha, and you will become very wealthy. I am only asking you to accept what I have understood by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord to be supremely beneficial." In another place, he wrote, "Even after seeing Srila Gaura Das Babaji, many people, the immature and the clever, after seeing Srila Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj, many people, the immature and the clever, the scholarly and the foolish, those lacking devotion and those proud of their devotion, all these people did not have the proper transcendental vision to see him. This is the incomprehensible power of a pure devotee. Hundreds of people came to him for his instruction to fulfill their material desires. But that instruction was actually deceiving them. Many people take the garb of sadhus, and many people outwardly act like sadhus. But in reality, not only are they not sadhus, but they are very far from any sadhu. But there is no such impurity in my Lord. By his own example, he demonstrated that purity was truth. His genuine affection was incomparable to anything in this world. One who received that affection would consider the 8 kinds of yogic perfection to be of no value. He had no dislike for his competitors or his enemies. Even to those who received his mercy, he did not demonstrate any external favor. He used to say, "In this world, there is no one who is the object of my liking or disliking. I consider everyone to be respectable." Another inconceivable thing was that some deceitful materialistic people whose mood was unfavorable to pure devotion always used to surround my Gurudev without understanding his real position, and considering themselves objects of his affection, kept their attachment to petty things. But he did not outwardly make any effort to get rid of them, nor did he accept them in any way. In 1898, that's the epitome of tolerance, right? In 1898, Srila Prabhupada had his first darshan of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji at Swananda Sukhada Kunj in Godrumadweep, one of the islands of Navadweep. Immediately, Srila Prabhupada became captivated and overwhelmed with loving ecstasy when he heard Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj singing a song he himself had composed. So Srila Prabhupada became captivated and overwhelmed with loving ecstasy when he heard Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji singing a song he himself had composed with intense feelings of love. Srila Prabhupada later wrote that song down and thus made it available to all the other devotees. This song was addressed to Srimati Radharani and dedicated to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Later, we have seen Srila Prabhupada displaying the same symptoms of deep loving ecstasy and intense separation in the mood of Srimati Radharani. As described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, during the chariot festival of Sri Jagannath, Sriman Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with intense feelings of separation. This mood of Srimati Radharani, as displayed by Mahaprabhu, and his inner thoughts and feelings, were described very beautifully and eloquently by Srila Kaviraj Goswami, beginning with the famous verse, Anyer Hriday Man Mor Man Vrindavan. My mind is Vrindavan. Okay, so this is Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj is going to go into more detail how we've seen Srila Prabhupada displaying the same symptoms of deep loving ecstasy and intense separation in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Yes. So this mood of Radharani, as displayed by Mahaprabhu and his inner thoughts and feelings, were described very beautiful and eloquently by Kaviraj Goswami in this verse, and now he's going into this verse. My mind is Vrindavan. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people, the mind and heart are one. But because my mind is never just separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since Vrindavan is most dear to you, why don't you place your lotus feet there? That would be your real mercy. You are the master of my life. Without you, I have no reason to live. My home is Vrindavan, and I want you there. My dear Krishna, when you were in Mathura, you sent Uddhav to teach me Gyan and Yoga. Now you are saying the same things, but I cannot accept it. There is no place in my mind for such things. It is not funny. You know my heart. Don't speak to me this way. Actually, I would like to stop thinking about you and absorb myself in something else, but I can't. You think it's clever to tell me to meditate on you, but you're killing me. We are gopis, not yogis. We will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet. So what you say sounds nice, but it is actually a lie. What you say, it sounds nice, but is actually a lie. And this makes us even more angry with you. We have no body concept. So why should we want liberation? Rather, like a whale in the ocean of separation, our desire for you is devouring us. Please save us. That's from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 13, 137 to 142. Yeah, maybe the verse numbers can be put after Anya Hriday one. That would be a good idea. Although the verse number, let's include that there, right? It's 137, Anya Hriday one. Okay. Being immersed in this mood of separation, Srila Prabhupada established the Gaudiya Math and Sri Jagannath and Jagannath Dham, participated in the chariot festival, and inaugurated the Bhagavat exhibit. I wonder if this should be italicized because is it referring to like Srimad Bhagavatam? Like Bhagavad, if it's a book? Then so I'll just highlight. Whenever the topic
Yeah, I
of
don't know.
Srimati, okay. I'll do it now. Okay. Okay. Whenever the topic of Srimati Radharani seeing Krishna at Kurukshetra, which is non-different from Jagannath Dham, came up, he became overpowered with deep feelings of separation and love. Tears would flow from his eyes, and his voice would choke up with emotion. By seeing Sri Jagannath and Nilachal, Srila Prabhupada would be immersed in this mood, and he would chant the following verse by Srila Rupa Gosvāmī in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas tataham saradha tadidamubayo sangama sukham tatapyanta kelan madura murali panchamajushe mano me kalindi ulina vipinya sprihayati. That's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 176. Oh, my friends, today I was united with my beloved Krishna in Kurukshetra. He is the same Krishna, and I am the same Radha. And the joyful ecstasy of our union is the same. Yet my heart is hankering for that forest on the bank of the Yamuna, which used to be flooded with joy by the sweet reverberations of Krishna's playful flute. Srimati Radharani and her own Sri Radhakund were Srila Prabhupada's life and soul. He used to become overwhelmed with loving sentiments whenever he described the glories of Srimati Radharani and her merciful nature. The collection of verses called Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi by Srila Prabodhananda Sarasvatī was very dear to Srila Prabhupada. I still remember how Srila Prabhupada's voice would become tearful as he was reciting verses from that holy book. And there's that verse. What is it? I think it's Yat Kinkarishu Bahusa Kalukakuvani. Yeah. I offer my obeisances in the direction of the breeze, coming from the stirring of the garment of the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. That breeze makes Madhusudan feel very satisfied. Equally dear to him was Vilap Kusmanjali by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. He interpreted for us with deep feelings of love many such scriptures and verses glorifying Srimati Radharani. His extreme attachment for the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani is expressed in his own name, Varshabhanavi Daita Das, servant of the beloved of Srimati Radharani, Krishna. O Radharani, why should I keep this life if you are not merciful to me? What need is there for me to reside in Vraj? O Lotus-Eyed One, without your mercy, I do not want Krishna, the killer of the demon Baka. How does that verse start? God. Anyways, I can find the reference for that. That would be easy. Every year, many devotees following in Srila Prabhupada's footsteps would go to Mathura Dham to observe Kartik Vrat. Srila Prabhupada used to celebrate Kartik Vrat with great earnestness and austerity, and he used to spend his time in the holy Dham absorbed in deep meditation in a mood of separation. The memories of those pastimes we spent with him observing Kartik Vrat are still inspiring us to go on with our spiritual lives. I remember in 1932, Srila Prabhupada circumambulated the entire perimeter of the holy Dham of Rajmandal on foot in the association of many, many devotees, starting his journey on the 9th of October, the appearance day of Sri Madhvacharya. At every place of Krishna's pastimes, he himself described those pastimes. At the same time, for the benefit of the devotees who came from many different regions, he saw to it that lectures were given in various languages. at the meeting place of Sri Radhakund and Sri Shamakund, in a big assembly of devotees, including many Vrajvasis, residents of Rajdham, and many scholars, Srila Prabhupada gave his interpretation of Srila Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Instruction in Hindi. I also remember a photograph of Prabhupada giving a lecture at the bank of Sri Radha Lalita Kund, which was published in the contemporary weekly devotional magazine Gaudiya. So many tents were set up there that it looks like a little town. What a beautiful sight it was. On the 29th of October, 1934, Srila Prabhupada discovered the place of pilgrimage where Srila Rupa Goswami saw Sri Gopal in the village of Satigara in Mathura. Interesting, Satigara instead of Chatigara. We were fortunate to be with him in 1935 when Srila Prabhupada observed Sri Damodar Vrat on the bank of his beloved Radha Kund, starting from the 8th of October. Every day he gave lectures on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Upanishads. I think Upanishad ends with the, I think. And other holy scriptures. Every day
I think
he
it
would
does have an A, actually.
It does? Upanishads? Okay. Every day he would circumambulate Sri Radhakund and would hear or talk about the 8 daily pastimes, the Ashtakaliya Lila. At this time, to properly serve Sri Brajmandal, he started a regular meeting for the sake of preaching the glories of Sri Rajdham Pracharini Sabha. I'm not marking all these because we'll just copy and replace them all, right? I've just marked it the first time and I already marked this one as well. How much he loved talking about Krishna and his, how much he loved talking about Krishna is inconceivable. He would talk about him for hours on end. And if anyone asked or even gestured for Srila Prabhupada's prasad to be brought in, he would be displeased. There were times when, being instructed by doctors, his disciples requested him not to talk very much. If anyone would ask him how he was, Srila Prabhupada would answer, I am fine. My only disease is that I am not allowed to talk about Krishna. He used to say, to wake up a single sleeping soul, to make a single conditioned soul aware of his real identity, one should be willing to dedicate one's whole life. Srila Prabhupada used to love to listen to kirtan, but he could not stand to hear kirtan that was sung by an unqualified person, which was against bona fide Vaishnava conclusions, or which reflected a mixture of clashing sentiments, rasabhas. That is why he has said in a song he composed, Prana achetar she hetu prachar, pratishta shahin Krishna gatha sabo, Shri Daita Das kirtanete ash, koro uchai sware harinama rava. That's from Vaishnav K verses 18-19. Yeah, it's the first half of verse 18, I think, right? And then the second half of... No. The first half of the 19 as well. Kirtan lives only when it is sung by a devotee who is free of the desire for name and fame. Such kirtan, full of life, is capable of preaching the holy name, since it consists of the glories of Krishna without being contaminated by personal ambition. Sri Daita Das, Srila Prabhupada, is always hoping to hear such kirtan. All of you, please loudly take the name of Lord Hari in that pure mood. Interesting. Usually I'm used to seeing this as referring to the Rajavasigan Pracharaka Dhan, But here it's referring to the kirtan. That's very neat. The path of exclusive surrender, without a desire for one's own name and fame, is the life and soul of a devotee. The kirtan which comes out of the mouth of anyone who is not following this path is exclusive. The kirtan which comes out of the mouth of anyone who is not following this path of exclusive surrender is completely lifeless and not fit to be heard. There's an article that says one should only hear kirtan from Sri Guru. It was published in Rays of the Harmonist 2010. And the whole article is on this topic. Srila Prabhupada could not tolerate any kind of imitation, nor could he tolerate anyone overstepping the boundary of their rightful position, which had been earned by their devotional practice. He made it clear to us that one should try to be simple, humble, offenseless, and honest in the path of devotion, and there should not be a tinge of duplicity, deceit, hypocrisy, or desire for name and fame. Oh, Kishore, thank you so much. Kishore gave the reference for Vilap Kuswanjali. I'll add that in. Haribol Sudevi Didi. Okay, so in one song it is said, Jadi bhajibe gora sharal koro nijaman kuti nati chari bhajo gorar charan. That's from Prem Vivarta 8.2. Gorar ami, mukhe bolile nahi chole. Gorar achar, gorar vichar, loile fal fale. That's same chapter, verse 6. If you want to worship Lord Gauranga, make your heart simple and straightforward. Worship the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga, giving up deceit and duplicity. Merely saying, I belong to Gaur, I belong to Gaur, is giving him lip service and has no effect. Following the example of his action and sentiment will bear fruit. Srila Prabhupada was extremely affectionate to his disciples, and if he found out any one of them was bewildered by Maya, he would shed tears. In confronting those who had a demoniac mentality, he was deadly like a thunderbolt. But in his loving relationships, his heart was softer than a flower. I think a comma there, maybe. If in any of his mats, any of his servants had to face any difficulty due to lack of money, Srila Prabhupada used to take great care to send that money as soon as he heard about it. He could not bear the thought that a devotee had to undergo hardships due to lack of money. He used to become very concerned if he heard of any devotee being ill. His affection could not be compared with that of millions of fathers and mothers. If we were ever sad and miserable, as soon as we sat near him, all sadness went away due to the shower of his unlimited affection. Even his chastisement seemed very sweet. Srila Prabhupada has chastised me. We used to say that with great pride and considered ourselves to be really fortunate. All difficulties in our service were made worthwhile 1,000,000 times over when we could see the signs of pleasure on his affectionate lotus face. What we felt can be expressed by this verse of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his book Sharnagati. I'm just going to make a guess. Atmani Vedan, but what is it? The next line? Let's see. Oh no, never mind. I got it. Tomar sevai dukkha hoy jata sheo to parama sukha seva sukha dukkha parama sampada nashaye avidya dukkha. That's Sharnagati 16:4. The suffering that comes from your service is also our supreme happiness. Both the suffering and the happiness that come from your service are our greatest treasure, and they destroy the miseries that come from ignorance. That's the translation to that verse. If we could not properly perform some service which had been ordered by Srila Gurudev, that would cause us great sadness. Our service to Srila Gurudev seemed to consist of everything: devotion, worship, meditation, realization, austerity, and sacrifice. He was most dear to Krishna. Therefore, if we could somehow bring him satisfaction, we considered that as the highest fulfillment. Therefore, if we could somehow bring him satisfaction, we considered that as the highest fulfillment of our devotional practice. If Srila Prabhupada went away from us for a few days, our hearts used to ache in separation, and we used to think day and night, when will he come back again? Alas, how many years have passed since he left this planet? How am I spending my days in this long separation from him? Why is my soul still living here? For the sake of what kind of happiness? Perhaps due to my offenses, the holy name and the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Perhaps due to my offenses to the holy name and at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, my heart has become hard like a thunderbolt, and it does not feel any pain anymore. I think there's a comma there. If I really loved him, how could I live this worthless life here? Oh, my merciful Lord, please protect this fallen servant of yours. Even though I'm so fallen, so sinful, and so deviated from the path of devotional service, please pick me up and put me at the shelter of your lotus feet. Once you did give me shelter at your lotus feet, considering me the servant of your servants. We also got the assurance that if necessary, you would come here again and again to rescue souls like myself. O merciful Gurudev, your heart is so full of affection. Your heart is so full of affection. Please forgive all the offenses I've committed at your lotus feet, knowingly or unknowingly. One second. Dad, could you just call back in like 1 minute? Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. O merciful Gurudev, your heart is so full of affection. Please forgive all the offenses I've committed at your lotus feet, knowingly or unknowingly. The day before you left us, I clasped your lotus feet on my chest, and you looked at me with eyes full of affection. Please remember that. I am stupid, ignorant, bereft of scriptural knowledge. I do not know what is good or bad for me. Please correct me and make me worthy of your service. Please make me understand what my faults are and what my offenses are, so I will have the privilege of serving you. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Murari Gupta, She Bhakta Dhanya Je na chhare Prabhur Charan. She Prabhu Dhanya Je na chhare Nijajan. Durdaive Sevaka Jadi Jai Anyasthane, She Thakur Dhanya Tare Chule Dhori Ane. That's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 4:46 to 47. Oops. Glorious is that devotee who does not give up the shelter of the Lord, and glorious is that Lord who does not abandon his servant. If by chance a servant falls down and goes somewhere else, glorious is that master who captures him and brings him back by the hair. Okay. You gave me the Tulsi beads so I could offenselessly take the holy name. But alas, I am still indifferent to that. My worshipful God brothers, who are sorry, let me reread that. You gave me the Tulsi beads so I could offenselessly take the holy name. But alas, I am still indifferent to that. My worshipable God brothers, who are all my well-wishers, have set such examples for me by their own actions. But I was not inspired by that. I do not have the desire to take the holy name. What to speak of having love for the holy name? Have I been deprived of the mercy of the holy name due to my offenses at your lotus feet and the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas? O merciful Prabhupada, please give me love for the holy name. Please inspire me. Let those lotus feet of yours, which I had the good fortune of holding on my chest, and which are more cooling than millions of moons, be installed and worshipped in my heart for all eternity. This is my only prayer to you. Wow, that was beautiful. That's this Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj. Oh, wow. We'll have to read this again sometime. This is really amazing. Okay, what time is it? It is 8:15. Just 1 second. My parents just need me to do something. 1 minute. But maybe we could, for the next 15 minutes, we could read some of this chapter. This other part of offerings from his disciples. Let's see how long it is. Yes. Okay. I'm still on a call. Like there's a bunch of people. I'm doing a live broadcast right now. What do you want? Yes. Is it really urgent, or could you wait 15 minutes? Please, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of people I need to go back to. Okay. Okay, I have to go that side. Sorry about that. It's really annoying. Okay. What is the okay, I'm gonna go to the previous section, and we'll just read for another 15 minutes, and then that way we can finish this section. Remembering the Lotus Feet, Memoirs of the Disciples of Srila Prabhupada. I'm just seeing how long this section is, if we could do that in 15 minutes. Yeah, I think so.
The section can't be, but maybe 1 or 2 excerpts.
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. Well, because we have until, yeah, we have another 13 minutes. So, okay, remembering the Lotus Feet, Memoirs of the Disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Selected and translated by Devamai Dasi. Yeah, this whole section is 8,000 something words, right? And so we'll just read. And usually we do like 6,000 words reading a day. So then I think we'll be able to finish this tomorrow if we read some of this today. Let me tell you about an incident from the time when I, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami, first came to the mat to be at the lotus feet of my Guru Mahārāja, Srila Prabhupāda. The temple in Sri Mayapur had been opened, and the deities had been installed there. The circumambulation of Sri Navadip Dham on the occasion of Sri Gaur Purnima had also taken place. At the end of the festival, everyone was going back home. Srila Prabhupada was sitting on a canvas chair on the front porch. All the devotees were coming to him to offer their dandavats before going home. Eager to hear what he was going to say, I came and sat behind him. Prabhupada told the devotees, "Please do not deceive me." I became very alert. The festival had ended. Everyone was going home. How are they deceiving him? Prabhupada said, "You gave assurances that you would do Krishna bhajan. I also became attached to you in this relationship. You came for a few days. and now you're going back to that material world. Then I am deceived. If you say, no, Prabhupada, we did not deceive you. We still have a few days' work to complete, a few responsibilities to take care of. After we've finished that, we will come back to you, and then whatever you will say, we will do. So if you say that to me, then I will say, there is no need for all of that. If someone says, my house is on fire, let me put out the fire and then I'll come, I'll say, there is no need for that. The destination of our, and everyone's self-interest is Sri Krishna. The living entity has no other duty than to serve him. If the whole world is destroyed by fire, it does not do you any harm. You are the eternal transcendental soul. You are the transcendental eternal soul. You have no duties other than serving Krishna. All your fulfillment lies in the lotus feet of Krishna. So Srila Gosvāmī continues, he says, at that time, I finally surrendered at his lotus feet. I realize that it is true that we want happiness, peace, and bliss. But whatever we want, through that we unconsciously want only Krishna, because he is the reservoir of all bliss. It is bliss, it is joy, that is the medium. Just as the standard of all currency is gold, similarly, the standard of all fulfillment, whether it is on a theistic or on an atheistic basis, is bliss or joy. Where shall we find that in this world? We can only find it by exclusive surrender to the sweet absolute, because Vedanta has said, Raso Vai Saha. He is the personification of infinite joy. He is reality the beautiful. Okay, we still have some more time. I'm going to read this section also. Excerpt translated from the Bengali. And this is by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Gosvāmī from Amrita Vidya, edited by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj, Sri Navadip Dham, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math in 1985. Around 1878 or 1879, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the deputy magistrate of how do you say that? Narail?
Nardile.
Narail. Okay, Narail.
Yeah, I only found that today. Like it was misspelled anyway.
Okay, Narail. So wow, interesting. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the deputy magistrate of Narail. I think he moved around, right, to different places, like to be the magistrate this place and then that place for a little while. Right?
Yes.
So yeah, okay. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was deputy magistrate of Narail, my father was a classmate of his oldest son, Ananda Prasad Babu, at Narail High School. Interesting. That's very interesting. Sometimes my father would go to Ananda Babu's house, and have the good fortune of having the darshan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I have heard from my father that Srila Thakur, while residing at Narail, sorry, I keep on doing it wrong. He used to travel to nearby places on his houseboat, such as Kaila, Lohagora, and Lakshmi Pasha. He used to travel on his houseboat to those places to inspect the local proceedings and attend trials at law. At these times, many fortunate people were able to hear about the pure devotional path of Gaudiya Vaishnavism from him. Once Srila Thakur went to inspect the condition of the Kanyadaha canal irrigation system, having been so requested by many of the local residents. He left his houseboat at our I think that's supposed to say ghat, right?
Yeah, that's a typo.
Yeah, so he left his houseboat at our ghat and went there on horseback. I heard that my Gurudev, Srila Prabhupāda, who was a very young child at that time, also came with his father in the houseboat. Our household sent some milk and sweets made of coconut and kheer, evaporated milk, to the travelers on the boat. Anyways, we can look at that later. In later years, the holy association of these acharyas helped my father to sincerely surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. One night in the spring of 1910, around 3 a.m., I departed from my house with the goal of going to live in Rishikesh after visiting the birthplace of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Oh, were you about to say something, Rukmini Didi?
Oh, no, sorry.
No problem. I went on foot for about 15 miles, and then I traveled further by boat. Eventually, I arrived at the Singya railroad station. This was the first time I saw a train. One gentleman bought me a ticket and helped me board the train. I changed trains at Banga and Ranaghat and arrived at Krishnanagar at midnight the next day. Then I took a horse-drawn coach to the Ghat. So I took a horse-drawn coach to the Ghat. I took a boat across the Ganga and reached the town of Navadvip during the pre-dawn hours. In the morning, on inquiring about Mahaprabhu's house, I was sent to a temple. I was told this was the main temple of Mahaprabhu in this town. As I was about to enter, a man yelled in a rough voice, "You have to pay an entrance fee of 3 annas." That's about 18 paisa. Shocked, I left the temple, sitting on the front porch of a run-down temple of Lord Shiva at Poramatala. I started pondering what I should do next. Sriman Mahaprabhu was the deliverer of fallen souls. He went from door to door, instructing so many souls who had been burnt by the fire of material life about the supreme benefits of devotional life. And look what had happened here. Today when I tried to have his darshan. This thought profoundly disturbed even a young boy like myself. 2 gentlemen who were returning from bathing in the Ganga passed by, talking about Sridham Mayapur, the birthplace of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Hearing them talking about Sridham Mayapur, I remembered what I had heard before, that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had discovered the true birthplace of Mahaprabhu in Sridham Mayapur, and immediately got up to go to Mayapur. I asked the local people how to get to the Ganga and then cross the river. At that time, the pujari, the priest, in Sriman Mahaprabhu's house in Mayapur was Raja Ram Tiwari. The guard was Satyaram, and the treasurer was Padmanabha Brahmachari. The Brahmachari told me, in Rajpatan, which is nearby, lives Srila Siddhanta Sarasvatī. He is a Brahmachari from childhood. Every day he chants the holy name 300,000 times, and his knowledge of the scriptures is limitless. Please take some prasadam, then let's go visit him. Please stay here for a while. Your health will get better here, and you will have the opportunity to hear about many spiritual topics. A little later, when I went to take prasadam, I had the darshan of the lotus feet of Shri Mata Thakurani, that's Srila Prabhupada's mother. She sat next to me and personally served me prasadam. And then she sent me to Srila Prabhupada in Rajpatan with Padmanabha Brahmachari. Arriving at Rajpatan, I had my first darshan of my most worshipable Lord, the fulfillment of all my desires. At that time, he was writing an article on conclusions, Siddhānta, about the difference between the Brahmins and Vaishnavas. Sorry. That's a famous article, isn't it? Yeah, they published that, and I think we published. Actually, I think we might have published that. Can't remember.
Yeah, I have it in a book, but I think it's not from JVP.
Yeah. Seeing his soothing and pleasing, beautiful face, and hearing from him such instructions as I had never heard before, I not only forgot all the troubles of my journey, but I felt as if I had arrived in a new world. So I stayed in Sri Yogapit. Every day I would do a little bit of service, and around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I would go to Srila Prabhupada in Rajpatan and hear him read from his articles and his commentaries on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Once I went home for a few days, but after I came back, I started staying in. Once I went home for a few days, but after I came back, I started staying in Rajpatan with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada would stay behind closed doors in his bhajan kutir and chant for long hours. Once, the day before Janmashtami, no milk could be found for offering. Suddenly, Srila Prabhupada thought, if I could get some milk today, then I would offer it to Sriman Mahaprabhu. As soon as he had thought this, he chastised himself in his mind and thought, am I thinking this because I am afraid of the prospect of fasting without water tomorrow? Then this idea is very wrong. This was the time of the monsoon. All the land around Mahaprabhu's house was flooded. The only way to get around was by boat. Under these circumstances, that afternoon, a milkman came to Yogapit, wading in the water up to his neck with an abundance of milk, kheer, curd, butter, cream, etc. The milkman said that the rich landholder Harinath Chakravarti had sent these things from his estate to offer to Mahaprabhu. The pujari at Yogapit offered these items to Mahaprabhu and then brought them to Rajpatan, where Srila Prabhupada was. It was Srila Prabhupada's specific instruction that any sumptuous foodstuffs offered to Mahaprabhu should not be brought to him. But that day, when the pujari brought those items to him, despite having been forbidden to do so, Srila Prabhupada went to Sriman Mahaprabhu and said, how much trouble I have given you. Why did such wrong ideas come to my mind that you had to send these things for me by inspiring someone else in his heart? That's an excerpt translated from the Bengali memoirs of Sripad Paramananda Vidyaratna, as quoted in Sarasvatī Jayashri by Sri Sundarananda Vidya Vinod, Calcutta, Sri Gaudiya Bagh Bazaar, 1934. Beautiful. All right, so it is now 8:32. Sorry, I went 2 minutes over time. But tomorrow we will read the rest of these memories from the associates of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. We'll read more. Tomorrow we'll begin with, Srila Bhakti Day, Madhva Gosvāmī Maharaj. Stories with him. Great. All right, so I'll just end with short Mahamantra and Jaidvani, and then I'll see. Yeah, we'll conclude our program. Hari Bol, Nari Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarini Mataji. Sorry, I didn't notice you before. Yes, and Kishore was mentioning, yes, it's a book that will be released soon. Yes, and Rukmini Didi, if you could keep us updated on, and Hari Bol Gopal Ganesham Prabhu. I didn't see you either. Yeah, if you could keep us updated on when it will be coming out and everything, and then yeah, everybody can get it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Also, we should find something about from Srila Prabhupada, like Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, about Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada. We just like a couple days ago we translated the Vaishishtashtaka, which is 80 verses long, that he offered on the. Maybe we could go through that, or I mean it is a bit long, but it'd be nice to have something from all of our most prominent Guru Varga, some glorification. So, anyways, I'll figure that out tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll do a very short Jaidvani, and then we'll end. I know I'm over time right now. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Kandarvika Giridhari Ki Jai, Jai Shri Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Swaparshad Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigana Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Mahārāja Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All the associates of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda Ki Jai, all the disciples of his associates Ki Jai, all the grand disciples and all the great grand disciples Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keśava Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. And Rukmini Didi, do you have any kind of idea of when it's going to be ready? Do you have like a estimate?
Alas, I had hoped to have it ready already, so now I'm being more reserved about putting a date, since what I thought didn't take place. But soon, I hope.
And it will be available on Amazon, like the Kindle stores. Amazon, like you could buy it like the Kindle version or ebook version as well.
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay, great. Anyways, I will keep everybody here updated whenever it comes out. You'll all know about it. I'm really excited for this book. So, all right.
Thank you so much for reading from it.
I am grateful to have it to read from. Yeah, we're lucky. We're getting exclusive access to this. It's really awesome. All right, so we're going to continue reading from this tomorrow, and thank you so much for joining. See you all tomorrow. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna Paramahansa Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Right. Ending the video now. Hare Krishna.